All right. Hey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Tap into you, treasure. You are the treasure. The map is within, and love is the compass. I wanted to come on. Well, I came on because I had prepared a message for on a platform this morning. For some reason, I don't know what happened. It was originating from India, and it was misunderstood. I thought I was supposed to go on at 5:29 a.m. this morning. I was sitting up here waiting for to be let into the Google thing, and finally I just said, "Well, let me inbox her to let her know that I'm waiting to be joined in." And I saw after I got on Facebook, because I always keep my Facebook up when I'm doing these virtual messages, just in case someone's trying to message me. So I saw up at the top that she had messaged me, and when I went to go look, she said, "Oh, you missed it. It already happened." And I said, "Well, anyway." So I said, you know what? I prepared. So what I'm going to do is share this message because it's important. It's important with my Tap Into You family. All right. So the title, the theme of this was human rights, contemporary and emerging issues. So this was my message. Discrimination pulls at the hearts of every human, and included are those hearts of the seasoned generation, aka the senior citizen. Now, senior is a good thing when it's attached to things like when you're getting ready to graduate college, you are a senior. I'm saying, well, let me stop. When you're getting ready to graduate high school, you are a senior. So you've come to the end of one road and about to start another. When we graduate from college, before we graduate, we are in that senior moment, and we're at the end of completing that stage of our life. We're completing that stage of our life and moving on to the next chapter. Well, labels, it has been determined, and we know that labels do matter. How we label things, and specifically, more importantly, each other. So my thing is that when placing the word senior, attaching it to a person like myself, 60 plus, perhaps me and other people younger and in the seasoned generation, perhaps we subconsciously or even unconsciously have come to believe that senior because I'm labeled a senior citizen, then I'm at the end. And at the end of what? At the end of my life. So am I no longer a contribution to society? So that's something to think about. And the discrimination and or prejudice, it is a human right violation. So my specific topic was ageism 60 plus. And according to the United Nations, the UN asserts that ageism is a global challenge. This is a report that just came out March of 2021. Three things that they indicated. COVID-19 unveiled just how widespread ageism is regarding healthcare, because remember at the beginning, at the onset of COVID, when things were getting kind of tight, beds and hospital accommodations, it was determined by the age. And it was, I don't remember exactly, but you guys remember that at some point it was like if you were a certain age, you were not counted in that bed space. So that's ageism. That's discrimination. A 2020 study indicated that destructive negative stereotypes and perceptions annually cost in USD dollars 63 billion, and that includes the 8 most extensive healthcare conditions for Americans 60 plus and over. In India is among several low and middle income countries, including Nigeria and Yemen, that account for the highest prevalence of ageism. Now, that's reported by World Health Organization, WHO. And this cost, it includes, the health care, because when we are in a state of, because when you start with where does everything start? It starts in here. So if I'm believing that I am not worthy or I am not valued, that's going to lead to depression. And even the stats, they said, with as far as the suicide rate globally, it is high among seasoned citizens, seasoned adult, the seasoned generation, 60 plus. They didn't think they went back to 55. And then D, estimated 6.3 million cases of depression, estimated 6.3 million cases of depression globally is estimated to be attributable to ageism, specifically those of us that are 60 plus. Now, the United Nations also indicated that every second person in the world is believed to hold ageist attitudes. And ageism is the discrimination and the prejudice against people, I'm going to say 60 and over, because I'm 60, so I'm going to stay in this realm. So every second person, can you believe the societal norm, the pressure that can be for some people? I have, as a claimant representative, I have the blessing to represent unemployed workers at hearings, and I'm also blessed to help those that are 55 and over. And I must share with you, there were times, that, these people have lost their job. It's not that they have some type of, 401k set aside or savings, and that's not even the point. The point is they lost their job. And then when we go speaking on, just go out, when we go outside, hey there, when we go outside the preparing for the hearing, of course we talk personal. Of course, every single claimant that I speak with, it has never just been bam, bam, boom. We talk about the creator. Things get very personal. So with the seasoned men and women, we have cried on that phone, because I have heard on the phone, I would say, you'll find something else. And they said, no, I'm old. Nobody wants me. I'm not looked at as valued. And I would say, that's not true. That's not true. So we have actually shed tears, both men and women. This is the truth. This is the truth. So and I got to repeat this, every second person in the world is believed to hold ageist attitudes. And that's the belief that our seasoned generation has diminished value and worth. So one such, in the report, because this was just great information, I'm going to read more onto it. One such, they were saying we need swift and effective ageism strategies. That's how the UN says this is a global challenge. This is something that is almost a crisis because of the way we view us seasoned. We've come to believe, and I'm flipping that script. When people say, "Oh, are you a senior?" I said, "You know what? I'm not a senior. I'm seasoned, but I am not a senior citizen. Yeah, I am not at the end of my life. Praise God. Well, that's up to thy will be done, kind of thing. But no one tells me that no person tells me that I'm at the end of my life. All right. So effective anti-ageism strategies. There is one way, and I say change the norm. It's a time for a language reform. Now, Forbes magazine, and this is in my proposal, Forbes, because I've created designed a proposal to change to a language reform proposal to change the labeling from senior citizen to seasoned citizen, seasoned adult, or seasoned generation. And I did this either last year or the year before, but it's been so difficult for me people just don't seem to be interested. I was wondering who that is. Good morning, Lucretia. Good morning, beautiful. And I've gone through American Federation of Suicide Prevention. Anybody I've tried to get petitions. I've gone to different places. People don't want to sign. So, of course, you get discouraged. Of course, I'm human and divine, but that human part of me gets discouraged. So I would put it down, and then if I may talk with somebody and bring it up, because this was going to be my presentation today. But anyway, Forbes magazine, in their report, in their study, indicated that senior citizen is not always good, and it can be dehumanizing. In other words, senior citizen is not a positive thing. That's a study of Forbes magazine. Now, I had the blessing, praise God. I wrote my name in just one time. I had an absentee ballot, and yes, it is, Lucretia. It really is. I was had my absentee ballot. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, just like when I first started that Tap Into Your Treasure map. Come to think of it, in 2015, I was at the edge of my bed, sis, and I filled out my ballot, and something. Well, we know something. It's the spirit, but something said, put your name in there. Put your name in there as precinct delegate. So I added my name, and then I just let the thing rest because I did some research. I said, "Oh, I'm too late," or whatever, and I said, "Well, I just left it on the table." I said, "Well, since I messed up the ballot, I'll just go in and vote in person." I was talking with my friend Zinzanelle, sharing that. She said, no, this is where you go. Thank you, Zinzanelle. So I got that information. She sent the information to me, and I read it, and I said, okay. So on election day, I took my ballot in to give it to the city clerk because it needed to be notarized and things like that. So I got it notarized, and the other day, something said, call the clerk's office to see if there's a status, and I was informed that yes, indeed, I was elected precinct delegate in District 2. So I'm so happy about that. And what I'm only sharing that not to impress you, just to impress upon that I'm very serious about this. And one of the reasons why I said, okay, let me, once I thought about that precinct delegate, I said, maybe if I serve as precinct delegate, maybe I'll be able to introduce this proposal to legislation at some point, to be able to have it discussed. So anyway, my thing is, I am not a senior. Anyone in that age that is labeled as seniors are not seniors. We are seasoned citizens, seasoned adult. We encompass the seasoned generation, and there's my conclusion. I'm going to say, wait now. Yeah, so the conclusion, there we go. The conclusion is that we all, according to Dr. David Hawkins, we all have an innate need to belong. We have a right to belong. That is our human right. And when that is taken away from us by way of perception, perspective, attitudes, discrimination, the prejudice on a negative, destructive belief not based on fact, and then discrimination, the behavior that is mimicking that belief, when that happens, we are denied our basic human right, and that is the need to belong. So human right to belong is about establishing laws and cultural norms that in our societies we can choose to live by. So my thing is, let's begin to combat ageism, change the norm with a language reform from senior citizen to seasoned citizen. We are a generation with much worth and much wisdom to offer. Thank you so much for listening. I am Dr. Adita Caprice. Blessings, peace, and love. See ya.